Welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, why don't we just go ahead and hop right onto it. Today's guest is Madame BunBun, a digital artist and thumbnail artist for the likes of YouTubers such as SwaggerSouls with a nice, fun, cute, stunning style. Madame BunBun has actually been somewhat of a part of the channel this entire time. If you're watching the video version, the person that you're seeing right now, yeah, it's done by Madame BunBun. So I knew it was only a matter of time before I just had to bring her on and have her talk about kind of the art journey and how she got to this point, because it's quite a trip. If you enjoy Madame BunBun, make sure you support her with all the links down in the description below. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. 5 stars, please, whenever you can. I see that stuff, and I absolutely love it. If you want to go even further with that support, and just find a cool place to where you can collab with other artists, or just find a place to talk about these artists, or just have a good time whatsoever, maybe you should consider joining the Discord server for the Postmodern Art Podcast, the Artist Sanctuary. Like I said, we've already developed a good bit of a fun community there, and we're always more than willing to have you become a part of it and truly enjoy some fun times with everyone. If you want to go even further and truly support the podcast, maybe you should consider being part of the Postmodern Art Podcast Patreon. There you can see exclusive behind-the-scenes content, stuff that was cut for time, bonus episodes, and so much more. Support the podcast today at patreon.com/PMAP. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. Oh, there you are.
It's blurry, just say it. Okay.
There you go. There you are. Hello.
Now it's falling.
Nope.
I have a broken webcam. I do, I swear to God.
Hey, you know what? This podcast would be incomplete without a little scuff, so there we go.
Fuck yeah. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Been good. Just been working my ass off. That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing. I'm glad to hear that, nevertheless.
Yeah.
Keeping yourself busy, which is incredible.
Yes.
Especially with what I imagine some of the work you're probably having a hand in, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. It's been busy.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Trust me, it's been busy on my end for different reasons.
Yeah. Fix this a bit. There.
It'd be just funny if just halfway through it's just like
it just no. So like I have that Razer like webcam, and the part that like turns it up and down is literally broken off.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, no, that's exactly what you need.
I'm trying to raise some money to get a webcam.
And you know what? Fair enough. If it certainly helps out, I'm definitely going to be commissioning you for the thumbnail for this video, so that could go towards that fun. So.
That's going to be fun to draw.
I'll go ahead and give you basically the requisites that I tell basically everyone else. It's just you on the left, me on the right. Past that, have fun with it. Go crazy with it. Add what you want with it.
Hell yeah.
I want this to be as much of an extension to you because, I mean, it's the thumbnail. You can attest to this. It's a person's first expressions of, what the guest or the video is going to be. So it's like I want this to represent as much of you as possible.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
There we go.
It's so hot today, but like it's freezing in my room. So I'm like, I'm wearing a jacket like a weirdo. It's literally 109 today.
Now, you're on the West Coast, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Cali.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm on the East Coast, and trust me, it had been hot here for like the longest time. It's cooled a little bit, but saying that it cooled a little bit still means that we're getting in the 90s. Like there was a stretch of time to where it was like day after day, just 100 degrees, like just straight up.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That's not fun. It's not fun at all.
It certainly doesn't help that it also rains here a good bit. So not only was it hot and humid.
I wish it would rain here.
Oh
my God.
You say that, but again, wait until after the rain is done and then the heat all it's doing is just evaporating. You're going to feel like you're just in a pressure cooker at that point, all right?
You're right.
It's a dry heat. It's still hot.
Dry heat, but yeah. I think here it's like it's a mixture between like one day it'll be dry heat and then other it'll be like really bad moisture. It's like, oh, okay. Humidity, fun.
It's like lovely. That's exactly what I want to deal with. The weather being
Yeah.
bipolar and shit. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Madam BunBun, before we really get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast. Let's say you get to go to a deserted island on your own accords. It is just you, alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, and truly get to enjoy yourself for a little bit. To
Yes.
help with those vibes, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you. Help with the relaxing and hopefully make sure you don't go completely insane.
Okay.
I say, if given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Oh shit. So it could be like so it could be like either like digital or like okay, it definitely have to be digital.
Uh,
I don't do traditional anymore.
I mean,
So
that's fair.
like yeah, totally all traditional or digital now. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, is there like a particular piece, or like maybe there's like a movie or a show or a video game or something that you would just like bring with
Oh,
you?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't understand. Um, I would definitely bring any video game. Oh God, there's so many I like.
I know,
I
right?
get obsessed with video games, so like I'll only play like one. Right now it's Valorant.
Okay, fair.
So probably right now Valorant.
All right. You know what? That's very fair,
Yeah.
especially with the variety and open endedness. It kind of lends itself or
Yeah.
whatnot. So I mean, plus with how many
And it's a
people.
sociable, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was saying, with just like how many people are actually playing it, despite all the memes online of people say what they want about Valorant. Still, like there's still a lot of people that play it. There's still a good fun time to have with it.
Yeah. Although
But
it could be toxic.
well, look at any like. Look at any fandom. Look deep enough. There is a toxic underbelly with just
True.
about anything.
Yes, you're definitely right.
I'll say I'm pretty sure if I look deep enough, I could find like a toxic fan base for Bluey. All right, like I think.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Valorant. That's your answer. You're locking that in.
I'm locking it in.
All right then. If that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome everyone. I am your host Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You can support the podcast on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/PMAP and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at PostmodArtPod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. She is a thumbnail artist best known for her thumbnails for SwaggerSouls with an affinity for bunnies and everything pink. Welcome to the podcast, the wonderful digital artist Eden, aka Madame BunBun.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
I'm
I've been working hard
good.
and doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff for my art table that I'm going to be doing.
Ooh,
So
definitely gotta divulge a little bit into that because I can only imagine how excited you are for that. And,
I'm very excited.
and with that being said, I do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk. I know you're
Of
a guest
course.
that I've wanted to talk to for a good bit now because I've always had a.
Yes.
I've always been a fan of like. So you can go ahead first if you want to say something.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yes, you messaged me like a year ago or so.
Yep.
And I was so like nervous to like be on a podcast that like I just kind of avoided it. Not that like it's nothing wrong with you. But,
Right,
like,
no,
I get so socially like awkward.
You know what?
And I'm like,
You're valid. You are valid with that.
thank you. And it's like nothing against you. I'm like, ooh, it's all me. But now I'm like, let's do it.
There you
Let's
go.
fucking do it.
Let's do it. I'll say
Yeah.
first and foremost, there's no harsh feelings or anything like that. I totally get that whole
Yay.
entire anxiety in the back of your head when it was there, whatnot. But hey, at the end of the day, we still made this happen, didn't we?
Yeah, we're here.
We are here. We're here to talk about your incredible stuff. Like I was saying, I know I have personally been a fan of your stuff for a long while. That's why I definitely wanted to talk
Aw.
to you. But before we divulge into the art that you are making, I want to go back just a little bit, if I may. I want to know
Yes.
more or less the origin stories of Madame BunBun.
Okay,
What
let's
got
do
you
it.
interested in art in the first place?
Oh God. I think it was like I've always been drawing, but
Okay.
something that like made me take my art in the direction that it is I knew this girl in elementary school. Don't remember her name,
Okay.
but she introduced me to anime.
Okay.
Um, Hamtaro, Lucky Star, Clannad, all that stuff. Fruits Basket too.
Okay.
Which are all like a favorite of mine, and they really inspired me to like get into anime art. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where it started, like elementary school era.
Do you remember one of at least like the first or like the biggest like go-to anime for you, like the one that you will always have a near dear place in your heart and you can watch it a million times over?
Fruits Basket.
Fruit Basket.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, they recently remade it, and I was literally like freaking out. And they just came out with a prelude movie too,
Okay.
so yeah, super cool that it's coming back and popular.
I mean I can imagine. I imagine obviously like I said you had that first affinity for like the anime. I imagine a lot of that probably also influenced your art style as well.
Yes, definitely. That or I was super into Invader Zim when I was a
Ah, there you
kid.
go.
I would literally only draw the characters from that show for like a whole year. So,
Again, I do not blame you one bit. That show also
no.
has a very near and dear place in my heart as well. So there you go.
Yes.
And like,
Yes.
especially with how unique of an art style that show presented more than anything else. Like, it's just
Definitely.
goodness. I'm glad that they finally
I love
had.
the shapes.
Yes.
The shapes are fun.
I'm glad they finally gave it somewhat a little bit of closure with that Netflix movie too. That
Yes.
was
Mhm.
wonderful.
I love that movie. Oh my God.
Exactly. So when did you go from this like general love for art and animation to a passion and wanting to make it your career?
I think that's a hard one. I don't really remember where it sparked. I think mostly like my parents were like, "You're really good at this. Why don't you sell your art?" Like,
Okay.
and I saw a lot of other people. I was really into the Minecraft community when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do a lot of commissions for Minecraft, like people like drawing
Okay.
their characters in my art style and stuff. So that maybe that's where I started doing commissions and all that good stuff.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's incredible to know
Yeah.
that the I guess the YouTube like especially like the Minecraft community as well
Yes.
has always been like a major part of you and your growth.
Definitely.
Do you remember some of the first people that you like commissioned or some of the first characters that you at least remember fondly of like, oh my god, I can't believe I was able to draw that or draw this for this person?
I think, oh gosh, I don't remember really their names. It's been so long. I think I
Okay.
was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
gives me a
I
whole
was
nother
really young.
appreciation.
Yes, I was super young doing commissions. Yeah, so
Well, I mean that's incredible, and I love that you touched on like more or less like especially Minecraft with like the YouTube community or whatnot. And I imagine, like I
yeah.
said before, that had to have been like a major thing to help like truly grow you like socially, like as a person, like getting that whole entire introduction. Do you remember
Yes.
some of the first YouTubers or whatnot that really got you interested in that platform?
Sky does Minecraft.
Fair enough. I can
Loved
see the
him.
I can see
Oh
the
my God.
connection with the Minecraft characters, and then yeah, okay, makes sense.
Okay, yeah, Sky does Minecraft. I think Mudkip,
Okay.
and I don't remember anyone else that really like sparked my interest. Um, I don't know. Do you remember Sea Nanners?
Of course, I remember Sea Nanners.
Sea Nanners. I would watch the animations from Sea Nanners, his art.
Yes.
Yes, and I loved them so much, and it really like inspired my coloring and like how I shaded and stuff when I was younger. So like loved them. YouTube was super big like
Mm.
inspiration for me. I was on it a lot. I was like a little iPad kid, but like before iPads were a thing.
You know what? Fair enough. I want to go back a little bit to some of the scene stuff, especially like the animated ones. My favorite one will always forever be like the clip itself was good, but the animation that paired
Yes.
with it was the legendary "I can smell you."
I knew you were gonna say
It's
it.
iconic. It's legendary.
Gassy Mexican. Gassy Mexican. What an iconic dude. He still streams on Twitch, I
Oh
think.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see him pop up here and there with a couple of the people that I still like watch. Obviously, like I am also majorly influenced with that YouTube gaming scene or
Yes.
whatnot.
I actually made fan art of Gassy Mexican and posted on Tumblr, and I remember him like reposting it. And I was like,
Oh.
hi. Yeah.
Oh, that is
So,
absolutely incredible. I mean, obviously, the love for the YouTubers and whatnot. I imagine it didn't stop at certain times too. I imagine it devolved into
no.
different creators and such, including who I
Yes.
mentioned in the introduction, the illustrious SwaggerSouls.
Swagger.
How did you first hear of him in the first place?
I think I was super into CSGO.
Okay.
I was playing it a lot, and I was like, I wonder if anyone's like making content on it. So I like Googled CSGO videos, and Swagger popped up, and like all the misfits and stuff, like fits and all that. And this was like 2016, 2017 era.
Sorry, go on.
So
Go on.
I have my Swagger Souls plush up in my.
There you go.
So I joined his Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just kind of tell you the story how like I got to do thumbnails with
I said
him.
that works because that was gonna be the next question anyway. So go
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. So I'll just do it. I actually never made fan art of Swagger Souls until he contacted me and asked me
Oh.
to draw him in my style. So um, I actually was making fan art of like the mods and stuff, and eventually the mods reached out because he was looking for a thumbnail artist, and they were like, "Oh, this person, Madame BunBun, does really cool art," and he messaged me, and we just got to working. So I've been working with him since 2017. So
Yeah, that was about the
yeah,
time that like I can think of because that was probably also around the time I started getting into like Swagger and his content or whatnot.
yeah,
And so like it's incredible knowing that like that had to have been like surreal more than anything else. Like I imagine you must have admired. Obviously, you love CS:GO, so like watching his content
yes.
and the humor that he brought and that whole entire group that just brought or whatnot, and then turning around and being like, "Hey, can I pay you to do the art for my thumbnails?"
It's been an insane journey. He's been really just a good person to work with. He's sweet. He's just awesome. He's just a really awesome dude. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about him. He's just awesome.
I mean, to be fair, I would. Again, I've watched this stuff for a while now. I imagine he had to be like at least just cool to even just talk to in the first place, let alone constantly work with.
Insane. I met him in person at when he was in San Diego at TwitchCon. We just sat down and had like a long conversation, and he was just a really down to earth guy. Like, he's so cool. He's so sweet.
Oh, I can only imagine. Shout out to Swagger. There you go.
Shout out to Swagger Souls.
I have to know because obviously, again, I have seen his content and I have seen the thumbnails you have provided for him or whatnot. It has to be weird whenever he comes to you and just be like, "Hey, I have an idea for a thumbnail. How does the thumbnail process
Yes.
work for you?"
Okay. He he sends me the cutest little drawings. He draws on his iPad what he
Oh,
wants for the thumbnails. And I love them. And if anyone wants to commission someone, this helps so much just bringing your idea to life. It brings out the composition you want, the characters you want, everything. And he's actually really good artist for just his
nice.
little doodles. I can send you some if you want. Like, they're
I
really
would love
fun.
to see them. I would just love
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's just like, well, I want this, and then he'll just send me the picture, and he's like, well, just add this background for like whatever map on CS:GO or whatever other, you know, game he's playing.
There you go. All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And like that's something that I've had to do. I know, like early on, for the most part, like especially with the thumbnails I do for this podcast or whatnot. I
Mhm.
like to have my artists have a little bit more free reign and have fun with it.
Yeah.
But I imagine, especially for like with him, with some of the way that the videos may be set up or whatnot, those little like I guess storyboarded thumbnails or whatnot. I imagine that is
Yes.
extremely helpful more than anything else.
So helpful because no, it's no harsh on any other commissioner I do YouTube thumbnails for, but some YouTubers will just be like, just this is the title, go ham. I can do that, but sometimes it's a little hard. I can brainstorm some ideas. I just don't know exactly what would make them happy with the thumbnail all the time, you know?
Right, right. No, that's
So,
absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair.
yeah.
Um, Can you? I've had other thumbnail artists obviously on this podcast before. I've had Senpai Beth. I've had
Yeah.
yes, I've had Kihori. I've had Little Hypno. I've had them on the podcast, and I know that for some of them, they've had some interesting stories about like thumbnails and situations and whatnot. Can you think of the strangest thumbnail idea that Swagger has sent to you that you've had to create?
Okay. He asked me to draw him with giant titties, and
Uh,
this was the. I don't know if you remember seeing my tweet. It was literally him being like, I posted the drawing, and he was like, he said something, and then along the lines, I like took a screenshot of the DM he sent me of, I need bigger boobies, please, which was one of his revisions for the thumbnail. And he was like, there's nothing wrong with asking for bigger boobies or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it's always unique having to ask someone to draw your boobs bigger. I just
yes, 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 yes.
But nevertheless, I mean, obviously it must have been fun. You were able to do it nevertheless.
Yes, it was super funny. Doesn't he have a Gamer Subs cup where it's him with big
Yep,
old
he
anime
does.
titties?
He does.
All
He
right.
does.
Why don't I own that?
I'll say I do have the what was it? I have the Misfits Melon at least like Gamer Subs powder, but yep.
Ah, yes.
I'm just
Yeah, that
I'm
sounds good.
I'm just I'm gonna say this. I am too nervous to get one of those like waifu cups or whatnot because I mainly drink that stuff at work. That's the only place that I had.
Oh,
So I don't need people looking at me drinking
yeah,
a liquid with a woman with huge tits as I'm just trying to enjoy lunch. That
yeah,
So I sadly have to go
yeah.
with the smaller cup just to get my gamer subs fix.
Props to people who wear those like anime titty or ass shirts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Like
I know what I'm
the
talking about.
props to those guys.
They have a lot more confidence than I do. I will give them that.
Good for them. Good for them.
Now, again, you've been working with SwaggerSouls, obviously, like you said, since about 2017 or something like that. Can you think of a particular thumbnail that you would say is like your personal favorite? Like when everything was said and done with what he had given or whatnot, you look back and
Um,
just love how it came out?
There was a one where he was doing VR zombie. It was like a VR dead,
A Walking Dead one.
Walking Dead one. It was him with a pride flag, like bashing a zombie's head in with a pride flag.
I think I remember that thumbnail.
My
That was a
alt,
good one.
it's I had the most fun coloring that one and like going ham on the background. It was so fun.
There you go. I know. What was it personally for me? I just saw this one recently. It was one of the. I think it was one of the first ones when Swagger decided to go back to PUBG or whatnot. It's just like
Yes.
him in the sky with Jay Schlatt and Schmitty just in that flaming
I
flag.
love that one.
The shading
That
you did,
one's a good one.
the shading you did on that one alone, like really helped with that kind of realization of the situation.
Yes, yes, I had a lot of fun with that.
I can only imagine. Now, obviously, we've discussed a lot about thumbnails and stuff like that, and swagger stuff like that. But that's not all you do. Like, I didn't just bring you on here just to talk all about Swagger Souls. If I wanted to do that, I would have reached out to Swagger, which I think I did like years ago. But that's aside from the point. No,
Swagger.
hey, if the invitation's open, Swagger, DMs are open.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, anyways.
but obviously you do some incredible art on your own chords, and the one that really sticks out to me is some of the original characters that you've kind of designed for yourself and really get to I will just start off with the one that you're probably rep the most, the one that you've drawn the most or whatnot, and that is the Madame BunBun herself.
The Madame BunBun.
The Madame BunBun. How did that character come to be for you? How did you develop
Oh
her?
boy. So her hairstyle is actually my hair when it's longer.
Okay.
It does like a little swoosh. It does a little flip. But she just kind of blossomed from my love of bunnies. So first it was me in a bunny hoodie that was pink. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't think I remember that one.
No, that was my first persona.
Okay.
But then it kind of, I was like, I've become more like in tune with my femininity, and like I like frilly pink. I like dresses. I like bows. I just kind of made this character to be like embody my feminine side, you know?
Hey, you know what? I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to blame. If anything, you certainly do a good job really showcasing that on full display with how you represent your character. I do want to go back just a hair, which is funny with the question I'm about to ask. You said you had
A
a love
hair.
for you had a lot of fun with bunnies or whatnot. What is your sort
Yes.
of affiliation? What is your fascination when it comes to bunnies?
So I just love rodents. I
Okay.
had a lot of hamsters and guinea pigs, and I had bunnies growing up. And bunnies are my favorite animal. They've always brought me joy. I had two bunnies, one named Daisy and the other named Rose, and they were my like all my they were my babies. They were just precious little babies. I don't know.
Oh.
They brought a lot of joy in my life. I feel like animals just bring a lot of joy in my life, and they definitely I had a soft spot for them.
Well, that's sweet to hear more than anything else. I
Yeah.
I remember what was it that for some reason you talking about that just sparked like a core memory like way back. I remember whenever I was like little. I think one Easter my stepmom decided to get like the kids like each a bunny or whatnot, and like this cute
Mhm.
little like Easter egg bunny basket or whatnot. And I think mine either ran away or one of the dogs got to it like really quick, so it did not last long. I don't think I even had a full 24 hours before that bunny just dipped from one way.
Yeah, I don't have really fun stories about my bunnies. Like I love them, but they passed away in not very fun ways.
That,
So I'm not gonna go into
that
that.
bunnies are fun to admire from afar. How about that?
Yeah.
But going back to your character or whatnot, like it's nice to know that you're able to incorporate that to really showcase yourself. And I have to know at least like creatively, like what is it about how you design that character that just gets you going? Like whether it be the bunny aspect or like the frilly dresses or whatnot. Like what is it about presenting that creatively like fulfills you?
I think it's kind of like, you know how artists love to draw themselves?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's that, but also like you have a creative twist to it. You get to draw yourself in not like a realistic way, but like how you actually feel, how you want to present yourself, how you want to look like, whatever. I think it's more of just a creative twist of myself, and I think it's really fun to draw.
Well, there you go. As long as you're having fun at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
I also love more or less like the style that you present with it. Obviously, like I know it kind of harkens back with that anime style that you were talking about beforehand, but
Yeah.
like just the cutesy, the bright colors or whatnot. Like, what was it about that style that like what made you want to go with that style, if I may ask, when it comes to your art?
Um, I've been inspired. I don't know if you know Star Pirate or Starpy. Star Pirate. Um, I love her colors. She does a lot of bright, vibrant colors and like blues and pinks and just really vibrant stuff. I love that, and I'll go on Pinterest and I'll just look at anime figurines and or like Lolita like clothing and fashion, and I kind of mix all of that together and try to just like make something that makes me happy. It's really my personal art is to feed this like, like feed the I'm trying to think of the word. Feed the child in me. Like I obviously my room is like
It's a good expression
let's
of
talk
that.
about it. It's a lot of expression. I love pink. My whole
Mm-hmm.
gaming setup's pink. Um, I have a whole bunch of anime figurines on the other side of my room. I have like all my backpacks. Like I just love to incorporate everything that makes me happy into my art.
It's like, huh, you like pink. I don't know what gave it away. The pink chair, the pink
I
towels
don't
on your
know,
bed, the pink
maybe.
jacket, the pink bunny ears on top of your pink
Actually,
headset.
I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
You know what? Maybe it's just a hunch. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
But I'm glad that more or less, like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like, especially when it comes to the personal art or whatnot, it's truly a way for you to let loose and really get to express yourself, especially the way that you want to see it.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like maybe my art's not really deep. Like, like it doesn't seem deep, but to me it's just like I want to feel happy when I draw. I like not saying I'm not happy, but
Right.
I want to be happy when I draw. There's other ways to draw, like venting art is a way, but like I feel like it's just a very positive thing for me to do for myself is
Yeah.
just make myself happy with my art.
I mean, if nothing else, like, the one thing I really do appreciate when it comes to your personal art is the way that, like, with just about every piece that you put out there, like, I can sense so much of a positive emotion with just about every little
Mhm.
piece, like very good vibes one way or another, and I absolutely love that with everything you've pushed out.
Yeah. There could be like I'll post like vent art on my which is in a different completely different style. I post it on my private Twitter. So I'm like I post like all these sad stuff. I've done like sad comics before. I've done like and those are on my Madame BunBun Twitter.
Hmm.
So like if you scroll back, there is some like expression of you know, mental illness, blah 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 blah, And I'm not afraid to express that part of myself. Like everyone goes through stuff and
Yeah.
I feel like kind of showing other people that it's okay helps other people and that like means a lot to me.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the one thing that I
Yeah.
love when it comes to art more than anything else. It provides people, such as yourself, like a platform to really get to express themselves in ways they may not have been able to before or afterwards, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just want people to look at my art and feel happy. So that's like kind of how I want people to feel about my art.
There you go. I know you certainly do a good job with that with Madame BunBun. And also, the name is slipping me, but what is the rat character you've created not too long ago?
Veronica.
Veronica. Having,
And then there's also, oh, sorry. There's also Penny, the
oh,
bull pit bull.
oh,
She's a little
okay.
pit bull character. Yeah, I just made her.
There you go. There you go. I just love seeing whenever you have, like, not only just yourself but like the characters like just interact with each other more than anything else. Like
Yeah.
I once again I love the positive vibes that you push out whenever you create art for them more than anything
Yeah.
else. So
Yeah, it's super fun.
I can only imagine. Is there a particular piece that you could think of all the ones you've done that you were like once again most proud of when it comes to your personal art?
It definitely has to be either the one where it's Bun as a waitress holding the tray,
Mmm.
or Veronica as like her kid self at the beach.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
nice. I remember the
yeah,
waitress one like right off the bat. Like
yeah.
it,
That
there
one's fun.
that one it certainly looked like it was fun more than anything else. Is there a is there a character or maybe a concept with your characters that you've been wanting to toy around with and eventually like make on your own, like finally make it from pen to digital paper?
Mm, like you mean like what do you mean? Sorry, I'm
like
like so blank on
like
that.
obviously like you do a lot of different scenarios, you do a lot of different outfits or whatnot when it comes to your characters or whatnot, but is there one that you've always wanted to do but you just never like hunkered
Oh, I
down and
see.
did it?
Um, Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I maybe I've wanted to go in depth with Bun and Veronica's relationship more.
Okay.
Because they're kind of a thing. But I haven't really like gone out and said it until now. But like in my art,
World
I'll kind
exclusive.
of hint at it. Exclusive. They're kind of a thing. So I'd like to draw them together more in like cute scenarios.
Well, there you go. There you go. I'm sure you'll find
Yeah.
an opportunity to make that a reality more than anything else.
Yeah.
But I know another thing you've been able to make into reality more or less is I imagine this goes back more or less to kind of the YouTube, especially with the different creators or whatnot. You know, I imagine that probably gave you a love and admiration for content creation that you decided to go ahead and do it yourself with your own Twitch.
Yes. Yes. I've been doing Twitch streaming for a long time. I don't remember when I started. It's been a while. I love gaming and drawing on my Twitch. So, um, I'm just kind of a variety streamer, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, depending on what game I'm obsessed with in the moment. Like at one point, it was Escape from Tarkov,
Yep.
CS:GO, Rainbow Six Siege, but now it's Valorant and art. So,
I mean, it's a good way to kind of, it's a good balance, more or less, of just random, of varying games more than anything else.
mhm.
What exactly made you decide to go forth with streaming? Was that something that you've always kind of wanted to do, especially watching some of these YouTubers, or that's just something that you stumbled upon?
Yes. I've been really inspired by Twitch streamers such as like SwaggerSouls himself really like made me want to take streaming more seriously. There was one point where I just only streamed, like that was my job for a while, but I kind of like fell out of it for like a year or so, and I'm trying to get back into it, into the groove. But I've just been really busy.
No,
And
that's fair. That's
like I'm
valid.
working a job, I'm doing all my art, it is what it is, but well, we'll get back into it. I'm trying to make TikTok content. I'm trying to make YouTube content. It's a process.
Oh
It
yeah.
is.
Look, as someone that also works a job while trying to do something creatively to potentially get some money down the line, hopefully from it,
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from. It's one of those. It's hard to balance
Mhm.
all that stuff and not just want to like crumble and just be like, just. I get that. Take your time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Goodness, I love how you talked about all sorts of like the different games or whatnot. Can you think of like a moment you've had on stream or whatnot that like if someone was to ask you like what is the best moment or one of your favorite moments, you could just present them that clip and they can sort of get the vibe of what you're going for.
There's there's two. So
Okay,
there's this clip where I don't know if you're familiar with Tarkov, but
I'm familiar with it.
yeah, so there's extracts. So you have to, there was an extract where I paid money to extract through a car.
Okay.
And the car, I was sitting there at the car. You have to be in the zone to extract with it. Paid the money, and 5 minutes left in raid, and the car leaves without me.
Oh,
And I'm
lovely.
screaming. I'm screaming. Like it was a glitch, and I was just like screaming, like, "Oh fuck! What do I do?" I'm like just like is yelling at the top of my lungs. That's so funny. And then there was another one where it's actually a TikTok clip my friend, that fella over there, made. Um, he or it was me not knowing who the Pope was, and then me saying they're like the Pope, mean like the head of the Catholic Church. This is a Christian stream, right? You're supposed to know. And I was like, the Pope isn't Christian, and they're like Eden, and I was like, what? I don't know. I don't know the Pope. I don't know who the Pope is. Like I know of the Pope, what the Pope is, but like
Right.
I don't know the name of the Pope or what he does exactly. I didn't know I didn't know Catholic and Christian were like the same thing. I've always been raised like, well, these people are going to Catholic church and we go to Christian church. Oh, it must be different. So
Ah, man. Ooh, well, I'm pretty sure
I know.
I'm pretty sure I heard the Pope say something about how Christians should really stay in their lane or something like that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm kind of with your friends, but I also can
No,
understand.
no. It's no. It's funny. It's funny, and I don't know like a lot of like stuff like that, so it's kind of funny to play on like.
Just hope that it never gets back to the Pope because you'll probably be excommunicated in like 20 different religions after that.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
hopefully the Pope doesn't go on TikTok or Twitch.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
One of the other aspects that I do love about your Twitch streams is you've been toying here and there a little bit with VTubing as well, sort of having a little hand in that
Yes.
as well. Mainly with obviously your character Madame BunBun having that represent you more than
Mhm.
anything else. What got you interested in like toying with VTubing?
It was I stopped streaming with like a webcam, and because just because like I used to be really nervous about it, and I feel like my face gets tired when I use my webcam. Does that make sense? Does anyone else feel like that?
I as someone that stares at my own webcam like on for every single episode or whatnot, I can sort of understand like there are some days where it's like, oh yeah, no, I look like lively and excited or whatnot, and there are just some days where like I can look at my face and be like, Jesus Christ, act like you enjoy this or whatnot.
I know. No, I know. So I found like a substitute was either PNG tubers or VTubers. And I was like, you know what? This seems fun to draw. I was watching a lot of VTubers in the moment. Like I said, Star Pirate, and I think they're married now. Or I think their wife, Bunchata.
Okay.
They're both she's a bun VTuber, and I think Star Pirate is like a bunny dragon.
Ooh,
I forget.
interesting.
So I was like, I want to make my character a VTuber. And like I watched a lot of their streams, like just seeing how they lay out, how they draw like the VTuber model. It's really fascinating. It's a lot of work, but it's also very fun. So I found a lot of passion in that. And I've made my VTuber model multiple times. Like I've redrawn it multiple times, just because I'm like I'm learning more. I know what I can do better now, and my VTuber model is like 10 times better than my first one.
Well, there you go. There you go. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, I'm obviously, I'm not gonna say obviously, but I'm in like with a group with a bunch of VTubers and whatnot. Like, I talk to them a good bit, and I've been toying with the idea of eventually doing some PNG tubing streams on Twitch as well on my end or whatnot. It's just dedicating the time and figuring out all the technical aspects when it comes to the streaming aspect and see if I can actually do it.
Yeah.
But no, as well as like I can get where you're coming from, just kind of the having that more or less represent you and like the different models or whatnot. I've seen a lot of VTubers like some of them even start off with the PNG tubing or whatnot, like just starting from there, eventually like getting different models or different PNGs and like improving every single time. Especially whenever you're doing that stuff on your own, that stuff is it is a process all on its own trying to get that stuff figured out. There's someone that I am friends with. They go by Soda Sneb or Sneb Soda, but she just only recently like got done like getting her 2D model like drawn up and rigged and everything, and like that was a whole entire process on her own.
Wow.
So yeah, I can totally get where you're coming from when it comes to like doing it, different models, different versions of it, adding little improvements here and there or whatnot. Like I understand how much of a process it can be.
Yeah. People that do live 2D rigging, props to you. That shit is hard. I tried it. I could not wrap my little mind around it. I was like, what in the hell is happening? It's so confusing.
Oh my god! Trust me, I give all the credit to any VTubers doing any sort of like rigging or any sort of VTube content, because the software, like, they can make it as streamlined as possible or whatnot, but there are still like so many different hurdles and obstacles when trying to make that shit cooperate the way you want it to and not look like your VTubers having like a seizure every 5 minutes.
True.
Goodness. But when it comes to the VTuber, the models that you've done or whatnot, like I'm going to assume it's probably the more recent one, but can you think of one that you were like most proud of more than anything else when you look back on it? Whether it be your own or maybe you've done one for someone else.
I have yet to do like a recent model for someone, and I've improved a lot. So if anyone's interested, let me know. But definitely my most recent one. There was a bunch of different outfits, a bunch of different emotes and hairstyles I did. Very fun process to do. But there's also a funny VTuber model I did. My friend has yet to get it rigged. It was a very buff bunny. I don't know if you remember seeing that.
I don't think I have.
It's a buff bunny. It's a buff bunny with like a big like abs and you name it. He had big muscles. I made that into a VTuber model for some reason, and my friend was like, "I'll buy it off you," and he has yet to get it rigged. Get it rigged, Sully. Sully, get it rigged. I want to see it move.
We want to. Everyone wants to see it. Now that you
Everyone wants
described
to
it.
see the Buff Bunny move. Come on.
Have you seen the internet? Buff Bunny introduced, the internet will go crazy. Trust me.
True. True. Very true. Yes.
I'm already eagerly anticipating whenever that debut happens. You gotta keep us in the loop about that.
I will keep you in the loop because that was. I need to repost or like retweet that now. Like the drawing I did of it. So funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine, like, especially thinking back to all the stuff that we like talked about so far, especially when it comes to like having the opportunity to work with YouTubers that you admired or whatnot, and working with SwaggerSouls, being able to truly express yourself through the art and streaming and the VTubing or whatnot. Does it amaze you more or less the art journey that you've come along so far?
Yeah, it's really crazy. I'll look back at old drawings and I'll be like, damn, I've improved so much. Um and I feel like I have a different art style for my thumbnails, and I feel like that art style has also improved immensely. Um So yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna get better and better, and that's all it's gonna be is I'm just gonna keep improving. I'm gonna keep making art that makes me happy, others happy, and maybe even thumbnail art forever. I would love that.
I mean, I would certainly hope so more than anything else. You've come along
Yeah.
so far and done incredible stuff. I mean, you've gotten to the point where, like you mentioned at the top of this thing, you're actually about to have a table at a convention or whatnot, which I can only imagine how
Mhm.
exciting that must be, having the opportunity to do
Oh
that.
my gosh, yeah. So I haven't really talked much about it on my Twitter, but I'm going to be at YumiCon USA in Palo Alto, California on October 29th of this year.
There you go.
Um, I've bought like all my table prep. I've ordered a bunch of posters that I'm going to be selling. I've even asked Swagger if I could sell some of this like fan art I've made of him. So if anyone's interested, I will be selling some Swagger stuff.
There you go.
So that's gonna be
You're
fun.
gonna be selling some swagger swag. I appreciate that.
Swagger swag, yeah.
There you go. Is this your first time being able to working at a table for a convention?
Yes, it is my first
Ooh.
time. Hopefully, more to come. I'm really excited to see how it goes. I've invested a lot into it, and I'm just so excited. I've been working nonstop on merch to sell at the art table.
I
So
don't
I'm
blame you.
like been working real hard. Like a lot of Valorant, a lot of anime. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I mean, I can only imagine. I know what was it. I don't know if you're gonna be selling this, but I know recently you've been doing Valorant characters as bunnies, which I have to say I love. It's
They are.
absolutely adorable.
Yeah, I'm gonna be selling that. I'm not sure. I think I might just do them as stickers now. Maybe keychains a later date. But we'll see. We'll see.
I would say either that, or if I may have like a poster of like the full roster, and whatnot, like little cute little
Oh,
things.
that would be cute. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll have to see what I can do with that.
There you go. I'm just trying to help you out, giving you more
No,
opportunities to
I
sell
like
stuff.
it. I like it. Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
really cool.
But like I have to ask, obviously, again, we've been talking once again all about all these different opportunities and obviously the opportunities to come with the table and whatnot. Can you think of what could potentially be like thinking back on that art journey? Can you think of like the most surreal moment for you, like the moment that you could think of to where if you were to tell younger you that you got to do this, they would not believe that you've had an opportunity to do that?
Um, Back to SwaggerSouls, definitely working for him. I remember if I could tell little 12-year-old Eden that like I'm working for a YouTuber like that I really looked up to, um, they would probably freak out. Like, not that I watched him before, but like it was just really crazy because when I got the message from him, I was with a bunch of friends at my friend's house, and we were all freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, no way, no way!" I was like, I was just sitting there. I was like, "Oh, this is happening. That's cool. Oh, wow." So, if I could experience that over and over again, that would be crazy. I'd love to like work for more YouTubers that I look up to. Speaking of YouTubers, I've kind of done stuff for Aqua FPS.
Okay.
He's a Tarkov streamer and YouTuber. I've sold some of my fan art to his manager, and they used one of the drawings for a poster and a t-shirt design, I believe, for
Nice.
Twitch Rivals. So that's cool.
That's
That was
incredible.
super crazy. That was so exciting. And like Creators Club, like Omid, Aqua, Hexloom, and Z-Chub, very sweet guys. I make art for them just for fun because they appreciate it and they're so sweet. And it's just nice seeing them smile on stream.
Good.
So,
I'm,
love them.
I can only imagine. I know you kind of teased that just for a second. I'm just curious. You said you'd love to work for some more YouTubers at some point, just to get an opportunity to just do even a thumbnail for them, something like that. Is there any that's more or less on like the wish list or whatnot? Like, if I could just do an opportunity to do a thumbnail for you, it would be a dream come true.
I've always wanted to do thumbnails for Super Mega, but they got an amazing artist. Dawn is amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if I was able to do anything for them, I would love to like, I don't know. I'd love to do anything with them. Super Mega or Max Mofo,
There you go.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Max Mofo. I love Max Mofo.
Just
He has a place in my heart.
I was gonna say I listened to I both watched Cold One videos and like listen to their podcast
Yes.
all the time. Like trust me.
Hmm.
uh
Yeah, they're funny as fuck.
oh
I
my
love them
god.
to death.
Freaking what was it? Like I love whenever they just like decide to like as much as I love the interviews as a podcast, I like to listen to other podcasts to get an idea. As much as I love the interviews, some of the stupid stuff that they do or whatnot, especially when it comes to like, buying, all these products to see if it works or buying like the strongest
Love
alcohols.
it.
It like
Yeah.
I actually do I have it over here? Hold on. I think is this it?
Ooh.
I think yeah, this is it. Oh, 1 minute. Behind the scenes. Da, 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 da.
I'm so curious as to what this is. Oh my god, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I got the little buddy. I got the little buddy shirt.
Oh my god, oh my god, I love him.
I haven't worn it yet because I got it when it was hot, so it's kind of hard for me to really enjoy
Yeah.
it.
So we'll have to wait a few more months to enjoy it
Just a few
fully.
more, but no, like
Yeah.
that. But I can only imagine like especially with the ones you were talking about, like Max Mofo, and obviously like just the opportunities that you've been getting or whatnot, and the opportunities that you've had so far. Like it's incredible to see how far you've been able to come along and see what you've been able to do.
Yeah.
But for this next question, if I may, I want to go a little bit more above and beyond, if I may, and give you more or
Okay.
less the dream scenario. Let's say I
Okay,
am
okay.
Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come up to him like, look, Eden, we know you can do some incredible stuff. We see the absolutely adorable stuff you've been able to present so far. And we know you just need a little extra push in order to present something truly incredible. We have access to anyone and everyone in the industry when it comes to art and media, and more money than should be possible. We should probably be bailing so many people out for weed or whatnot, but we'll focus on that in a second. Right now, we're focused on you. If
All
given
right.
if given this opportunity, what would be the dream Madame BunBun project?
Oh gosh. Oh, that's the thing. It's so difficult one. Um, hmm. To work for Twitch rivals themselves would be cool because I
Okay.
know one of my friends, Spy Bubble, or how do I pronounce their name? You know who I'm talking about, right?
No, not off the top
They've
of my
gone
head.
no Spy Bibble Bibble Spy.
Spy
I'm
bee
so
boo boo
sorry,
bop
my
boo
friend.
bop beep.
Beep booba beep bop. I'm so sorry. I
No,
love
you're
you,
good.
but I love you, Spy. Let me look up how to Spy BBLEZ.
Okay. Bubbles?
Yeah.
I guess that would be bubbles if
Is
I see that.
that yeah, but they've got I don't know. Anyways. um they've done stuff for Twitch Rivals, and I was
Okay.
like, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that. Okay, but no, that's not really up beyond what I like. Okay, let's see. Working for Riot Games would be pretty sick. They have an amazing art team.
Okay. That'd be interesting, especially.
I think that would be just even like small stuff like doing the sprays in Valorant or like doing like little dumb stuff would be fun. I don't know.
I mean, even then,
Character design.
knowing the characters that they have on full display, like just you giving an opportunity to just toy with like interactions they could have or whatnot, like that'd be just interesting to see.
That'd be fun. Yeah. That'd be super fun.
There you go. I mean, that's certainly a good. That would be a dream just to be able to work with like, especially a company like that, and just toy around with just any of the characters
Yeah.
in general. Like, I know, was it like Epic Games is like kind of cool with that, with like some of their Fortnite characters, seeing like some of the fan art people have been able to present.
Characters are really cool. Yeah. Yeah. I also really love the League characters, although I don't like League itself, like as a game.
I think you're not the only one
Sorry,
to say
everyone.
that.
Sorry, everyone who likes League, but your game isn't the best, in my opinion, and I'm allowed to have that opinion. Anyways, um,
I don't play
but
League, don't worry.
yeah, good. But yeah, I love League characters, and like their backstory is really cool, and the Arcane show was
Oh
amazing.
my goodness, yeah.
Like, oh my
I think
gosh.
that's the best thing to come out of League of Legends.
Or their music videos.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, was it the KDA one or whatnot or whatever that? Ah, Jesus, I still
Yeah.
gush over that one, and I know nothing of
Yeah, me
League.
too. No, yeah. No, I don't know much, but I love the character design. So, yeah, Riot has some really cool artists, and I would like to work with them. So,
There you go. Hopefully that could be a reality, but sadly we gotta get down from the dream scenario. We gotta get back to reality, and
back to reality.
I'll ask the ever so generic question: where do you hope to see yourself, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
Hmm. I'd like to be running my own business
There you
full
go.
time. I would like to not be serving anymore as a server. I would like to be just full on art art business. That would be so cool. Just selling my stuff, running my own website, just doing pre-orders and all that fun stuff, That'd be so cool.
That would sound like a lovely dream to aspire for, and I sincerely hope you get there at some point. Um,
Yeah.
as we start to wind down the interview, I just have one last question that I want to ask. Obviously, you've deeply entrenched yourself in art for years now. Like I said, you remember as young as possible that you could draw more than anything else. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
Oh, wow. Art as a whole is just a way to express it's even down to what we look at. Everything we consume is art at some point. Even if it's blueprints or a bedspread, your bag you're wearing. It's everything around us. And I think it's very important to everyone, even though some people don't really think about everything as art, but it is. So,
I say, trust me.
yeah,
Part of the thing that I'm trying to express with this podcast is art is a lot more out there than people can really recognize. It's a lot more vital than a lot of people
exactly.
realize.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we kind of illustrate this before, but like for you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like especially art for you, it's a way for you to truly get to express yourself. It's a way for you to truly let
Exactly.
loose and truly showcase the world who you are, what you love.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
And
Definitely.
there you go. That is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself. Um, that is all the questions that I have for you, Eden. I've already showered you with a whole bunch of praise, but I'm gonna shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I
Aw.
want.
Aw, yay.
Look, like I said before, I have been a fan of your art for ages. Like I said, as someone that avidly watched SwaggerSouls and stuff, seeing your thumbnails is always one of the best parts of a Swagger Soul video. Like in that first quick
Aw.
little impression of knowing what to expect for that video. And ever since then, I've always loved and admired the art you've been able to present, the stuff you've been able to put out there, whether it be for Swagger, or whether it be for yourself, or for whoever it may be. I appreciate how far you've been able to come along, and I appreciate you being able to truly put yourself out there and truly put your heart on full blast whenever you present, a cute little drawing. Like it's great to know that there's a lot of love and emotion that goes into every little piece.
Yes.
Like I said before, like I've admired you for ages. I don't know if you remember this, but I commissioned you for a
I
half a half body that I still use to this day. Like
I've seen you use it. It makes me happy. And yeah, I would love to like draw you again for the thumbnail and show you how much I've
well,
improved.
exactly. I
Like
mean,
that would be
and even then, like
so
what
fun.
you've done before, I still love because if I really had any issue with it, I would just have commissioned someone else to do something like that. Like I love that piece and I love your art. I love what you've been able to present, and I eagerly await whatever you do next, whether it be just the thumbnail for this
Oh,
video or any little art piece that you do, because I know you could do some incredible, lovely, and just cute art at the end of the day. And the world needs more cute art. All right, and I appreciate you putting yourself out there, and like I said, being able to showcase to the world like how truly wonderful and happy you can be able to present things. Thank you for what you do.
yeah.
Keep up the incredible work. Seriously.
Thank you for what you do. You're shedding light on art and artists, and I feel like you're just like bringing more people together. I feel like, you know what I mean?
That
You're showing other people art that maybe they didn't have a chance to see. So that's cool.
hey, you know what? That's the goal. That was that's part of the reason why I started this podcast, and I'm certainly glad that I get to present the world your art as well because I feel like more people
Oh,
need to see
thank
it.
you. Aw, shucks.
Now, if people may want to see this art that we're talking about and get the chance to truly love it like I do, go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home.
Oh, okay. Twitter is where I post all my art.
Okay.
Most of it. Madam underscore BunBun. Um, Instagram Madam BunBun underscore. And then just Madam BunBun on everything else. So yeah.
There you go. Very make it. I love the synergy and love how we can easily find you one way or another. Do you have any final words before we sign off?
uh Keep drawing. You're gonna get better and better. If you want to draw, just keep doing it. And I think the most important thing is everyone's gonna say this: practice and motivation. If you need motivation, it's all around you. It's all around you.
Beautiful words to end on. And if I may say, all I have left to say is for the people at home. Hasta luego, mi amigos.
Tell me what's wrong, tell me it's parts in motion. Sing me a song, tell me your eyes can all open. Show me it all, pick me up in the car you drove when you used to call. Show me it all.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, I greatly do appreciate it, and I sincerely hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said in the episode before, I had been wanting Eden for a while to be on this podcast. So I've always been a fan of her art, especially with thumbnails, and that's something I've always kind of emphasized, both with this podcast and just other channels or whatnot. Is the thumbnails. Thumbnails are like really important. Like, thumbnails give a great first impression when it comes to whether or not you want to see a video. At least for me, they do. They certainly help with that, I should say. I know that's something I try to emphasize with this podcast. If you guys have not noticed, or if this is your first time listening, I usually try to commission the artists that I bring on to do the thumbnails. If it is possible, if they're not super duper busy, because they're artists, they have lives, they got jobs they gotta do and such. But if you guys want to listen to other episodes but you don't know exactly where to start, go through and find whichever one has your favorite thumbnail on it, because odds are if you enjoy the thumbnail art, you're gonna love the artist, because that's most of the time their art. I usually commission other people if I can't get the artists themselves, or if they're not artists in that sense. But yeah, there are some outstanding thumbnails that I get done, and today's episode and today's thumbnail is certainly no exception to that. Eden, if you're listening to this part, thank you so much for both your time and the thumbnail. I greatly do appreciate it and I absolutely love it. It's a dream come true. It's always wonderful kind of getting to see myself in all these different styles and such. I know I spend a good chunk when it comes to the thumbnails themselves, but I'm letting y'all know right now, it is worth every single penny. Because it is stunning. I've debated for a while if I could get all the thumbnails and do like a collage tee or something like that and get that sold on the shop. I think that would look cool, personally, but it's a random thought for another time. All right, what words am I going to leave you guys with today? Let's leave with this. Know your limits and know how far you can push your limits. Because in today's society, your limits are going to be tested all the time. And that's not saying you can't test and try to stretch your limits, but also understand that there's only so much you can push yourself. Don't, if you're going to do what you love, at least know what you can do for the time being and try to learn and develop and get better at it. But don't push yourself too far. You are still human at the end of the day. You are still an incredible human being, and you shouldn't have to hurt yourself for creativity or art or whatnot. Know your limits, work with that limit, do the best you can within those limits. But at the end of the day, just enjoy yourself with what you do.